Cool. Okay, so hi everyone. I'm Mikey from Lambeth Information Advice and Support Service, and this is the third video in a video series where I talk to post-16 providers and other sort of educational work skills providers in Lambeth to create a kind of resource for Lambeth young people considering next steps. So today I'm joined by Daisy and Alex, who both work for Spear Kennington.
Hello.
And yeah, they work in two different centres in Lambeth. Alex is in Kennington, Daisy's in Clapham Junction, and they've kind of joined me today to tell me a little bit about the programme that they run for young people. So I will hand over to the two of them to begin to talk about that. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Mikey. Well, hello, everyone. As Mikey said, my name's Alex and I manage our centre in Spear, in Kennington for Spear. So we're based around just right next to Oval Station, and Daisy runs Spear in Clapham Junction, is based right next to Clapham Junction Station. So pretty easy access to both our centres. We run a 6-week programme where we support young people getting into work, simple as that. And the way we do that is by looking at a variety of topics over a period of 6 weeks, getting you ready for work, but also thinking about how can you sustain work once you've got it. So Daisy's just going to share a little screen here. So we have 2 phases. Daisy, do you want to talk us through those 2 phases?
Yeah, so phase 1 is Spear Foundation, which is the 6 weeks of coaching training based at either Spear Kennington or Spear Clapham Junction. And we cover the mindsets that you need, the skills and the resources to get work ready. So those mindsets are things like resilience and having a growth mindset, skills like interviews, CVs and applications, conflict resolution, and the resources are the things that practically mean that you can work. So having 2 references, smart clothes to wear to an interview, and knowing what your next steps are, and actively looking for work. And our challenge for you is to get a job within those 6 weeks. We don't want you to wait to get a job. We want you to get a job as soon as possible. And if you've got a job by the time that the 6 weeks is up, or if you haven't, it doesn't matter. We support you for the following year afterwards as well to make sure you're successful as you start work or education, or you keep looking and have support from us as you do that too.
Great, thanks, Daisy. And as you kind of find the next slide, one key thing that is just good to mention is that we work at doing group activities and one-to-one sessions. So during the week, there'll be 3 group sessions, but also one one-to-one session. And that one-to-one session is really catered to you and what you need as a young person looking for work. So thinking about your CV, thinking about cover letter, thinking about some key interview practice we can do together, but also thinking about how are you progressing over the 6 weeks? And we have a kind of a rating scale where we kind of, after each session, we see how you're getting on, we'll plot your progress on some graphs, and then we can really track your progress throughout the program to track how work ready you are. And then during the group sessions, we have groups of normally around 11 to 12 young people. And just so you can bounce off other people, you can build in your confidence and kind of grow some key work ready skills among other people who are also looking for work. Great. Daisy, what's next?
Yeah, so this is the overview of the 6 weeks of coaching training. We kick off with week 1, where you get to meet everybody else who's doing Spear and think about what does it mean to be work ready? How do we start to learn new skills and habits? And then in communication week, we look at how do we have good body language, tone, how do we use our words well? And we start to look at the career ladder in that week. So as we move into career direction week, we're thinking about what are your next steps? What is it that you really want to do? As well as how do you have difficult conversations in the workplace? How do you work with people who are different to you? In week 3, we also have a company visit where you'll get to go and visit an employer and a company, meet and network with them, and also gain some essential presentation feedback from them. And we also have an external panel, so you'll get to hear from other people about their own career journeys, the challenges and the successes that they've had as well. And then in week 4, we have interview week. So you will get to practice your phone interview skills, your group interview skills, and your individual interview skills. And you'll get to have a one-to-one individual interview with a volunteer for a real job that you've applied for. In week 5, we look at applications. So where do you apply for jobs? what are the quality of your answers like? How do you answer those tricky questions really well? And then by week 6, we hope that you've been having interviews along the whole way. We celebrate you with a graduation, and then you progress onto that year of follow-up support.
Amazing. Thanks, Daisy. I'm guessing there'll be a slide for this we could put up as well. But our aim and our stat is we make sure to track everyone's progress throughout the year. And what we found is that 75%, and this is a recurring theme for years and years, but 75% of the young people we work with find work and then are there a year later. And we expected that there would be a slight shift with COVID and the pandemic and everything else going on. But we're happy to say we're still hitting this target despite everything that's been happening. And so as you can see there, we've now worked with over 6,000, it's actually more than that, 7,000 unemployed young people. And we kind of, our aim is like, just to think, if you have a barrier, thanks Dave, we can take that off. If you have a barrier that you think is stopping you getting to work, Spear is for you. We've often found that we're trained as coaches, and often coaching is about thinking, okay, there's something that's stopping you do something, how can you get rid of it? So that you can press on to where you want to be. And that's what Spear is about, kind of getting rid of those barriers that are stopping you getting to work, and to be in a place where you can get to where you want to be, to pursue the career that you want. And so it's a really simple process. We kind of get in touch with you, contact you through either someone you're working with, a support worker, or a friend or a family member. And then after that, you'll meet with one of the coaches. You'll come along to one of our intro sessions, hear about what we do. And then after that, we'll enroll you onto the program. And the idea is that we're going to really come alongside your work kind of looking process. So your search for work, Spear is not meant to get in the way of that. It's just to make it a lot easier and to make it a lot more, give me a word, Daisy, a lot more easy. Let's go for easy, but also fun. We also know looking for work can be dull and boring and hard, and we want to do it with you. We don't want this to be something you are doing on your own, sat in your room feeling really bored about. And so Spear is about bringing interactiveness to it. It's about bringing fun and energy to your search for work. Yeah. Anything else to say, Daisy?
Yeah, if you're after an apprenticeship, or you're not even quite sure what your next steps are, if you think I want to get some more interview practice, I need to work on my CV, I want to be more confident to be able to speak to employers and be the first person to speak out at a group interview, then Spear is for you. And here is a recap of who Spear is for. You're 16 to 24 and you're currently not working or in education. You want to find a great career and you're available for 6 weeks from Monday to Friday from 1:30 until 4 p.m. I think that's all of it from us there, Al.
Great. Mikey, any questions? Ask away.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. Yeah, I mean, I guess one question that occurred to me. So you work with 16 to 24-year-olds.
Yeah.
And yeah, young people are kind of out of education, employment, or training. Kind of the young people that generally work with Lambeth IASS will have kind of special educational needs of some type. So some young people will have kind of education, health and care plans. Others will have kind of special educational needs, but won't have any HCP. I mean, in general, can you kind of work with both groups of those students?
Yeah, definitely. I'll kick us off and then Daisy, you dive in. But yeah, definitely. And that's often is the case. So most programs will have 1 or 2 young people who perhaps have more kind of educational needs slash extra needs that we can help support with. We're not experts in that area, and so that's why I think we work alongside you or whoever the referrer is referring over the young person. And we've got other links with companies we're working with who we can then communicate that this is needed by the young person as they enter the world of work. But also we know that whatever kind of special needs you may have, to be in a place where you're building confidence, to be in a place around other young people, whilst hopefully being kind of pumped up full of good skills and good knowledge, is always a good place to be. And so we found that even if someone perhaps has that as like a barrier to get into work, we know that hasn't stopped people before of coming on Spear. Daisy?
And we adopt a coaching approach. So we're not school. Everything we do is to see you succeed and is based around your own goals. And as long as coaching is the right method for you, we want to make sure that it helps you to succeed. So that's a key to what we do. And coaching is simply asking you open questions because we believe that you have all the answers yourself. It's not going to come from me or Alex or any other coach. is actually going to come from you. So that's important to remember as well.
Yeah,
brilliant. And yeah, so just one more question from me. I think there's only one other thing that kind of occurred to me. So yeah, you kind of mentioned that 75% of young people kind of end up in work and sort of stay there for a year, or kind of are still there after when you kind of check in with them a year later. Can you give a kind of sense of what sorts of jobs young people go on to do? I mean, I'm sure it's quite mixed, but.
Yeah, there's loads of different jobs that young people go on to do. So some apprenticeships that young people go on to do are business admin, electrical engineering, or plumbing apprenticeships we've had at Clapham Junction. General fields of work would be retail, hospitality, as well as accounting. Alex, what about for you?
Yeah, I mean, just coming straight up, at the moment, we're seeing a lot of young people get into kickstart roles, as that's a big push from the job centre. I'm not sure how long that will last for, probably into the new year in 2022. But we've seen a lot of people get into things like apprenticeships, things like kickstart roles. I think the vast majority are probably heading into roles that are areas like IT, customer service, retail. But also we've got some real corporate contacts that we're working with who will get in touch with us and say, we need a SPEAR trainee to come and work for us. And their requirement is that they've done SPEAR. And so we're able to send on kind of people who have really impressed us with their reliability, their confident communication. We can then send them on to some of our corporate businesses who have kind of contacted us saying, we need a trainee for this role. And things like a local media company in Kennington, things like investor firms in the centre of the city who just need people to come and start perhaps at a junior role, but build up and develop their career. So yeah.
Amazing. And you also said that some young people go into education, so there's the sort of door open for young people who do want to kind of go back into college.
Definitely. Yeah, and we found over 2021 that has been a real theme of more people going back into education, especially after what's been going on with the pandemic. And we've got some good educational links that we're working quite closely with. Educational links that perhaps aren't college, we're working closely with colleges, but also that aren't kind of the college environment where people can be flexible, do things online. And we've got one specific provider we work really closely with who take on about 3 or 4 of our young people most programs. So yeah.
Cool.
We also forgot to mention, Mikey, that we have a Hire Me event in week 4 of the program, which is exclusive to SPEAR trainees. So you are guaranteed to meet with an employer, and the functional skills provider tends to come along to that, as well as retail, hospitality, care companies, IT companies, and some apprenticeship providers as well.
Oh, amazing. Cool. So yeah, young people are kind of guaranteed to
guaranteed interview on the program. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think that's it from me. So thank you so much, Alex. Thank you so much, Daisy.
Thanks, Mikey.
And yeah, I guess young people who want to join the program can go on your website, right, and kind of link direct to you, or anyone who's with Lambeth IASS can sort of ask Lambeth IASS.
Definitely. Yeah, Daisy might even have a page she can put on the screen now. But there's a website you can go to, which is just joinspear.org, or just type in SPEAR Kennington, SPEAR Clapham Junction into Google. Other providers are available. Yeah.
Fabulous. That sounds great. Yeah. And yeah, I will post the details under the video. So
perfect. Thanks so much, Mikey.
Cool. Thanks so much. All right.
Thanks, Mikey.
Stop the recording.